I guess overall, if I was to look at the key changes that I would want to see in the industry for young people, and that would affect young people, would be one, at the top level, to increase the recognition of the event sector with the governmental organizations.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another CN conference call. I'm Louisa Daley, a CN reporter, and today I'm joined by Sethi, who is a project and event director at Explosive Group, and he is also a previous CN 30underThirty winner. Today we're going to chat about what Sonny put in his application and his event journey, and we're also going to share what changes he wants to see in the events industry for young people. Morning, Sonny, how are you doing?
Great, thanks for having me, Lisa. It's great to be here virtually, and it's exciting to be looking into 2022 and looking forward for this year as well.
Yeah, great. Well, it's great to have you here and good to see you again. So as I said, we're going to talk about your application and kind of your events journey. So could you tell me a little bit about that? Because I know that in your application, you mentioned that you were passionate about technology and virtual experiences. So kind of how did you progress eventually into that?
I've got over a decade of experience now looking into arts, culture, entertainment, and then spanning into conference producing, management of delivering training conferences in London, and then setting up our project and event company, Explosive Group. And I guess what we thrive on at EG is delivering in-person and hybrid and virtual experiences, and we've been able to embrace our technical production, use that to advantage, and then alongside that, using the virtual platforms, be able to give an immersive hybrid experience, whether alongside that delivering a virtual experience as well, as per the client brief. And it's exciting what we're doing at VSL, which is Virtual Studio Live, and that experience that we deliver, whether we're delivering it for a healthcare conference over multiple continents, attracting thousands of delegates, it's allowing us to use the technology, setting up a hybrid studio and delivering that through a platform to give that immersive experience. So for an attendee, if you're at home watching it through your computer screen, you still feel like you're at the event. You get that experience. And then alongside that, the interactivity that you're getting through the platform and through additional integrations is all what we're combining with the technology and the virtual experience. I guess moving forward, what we are also really passionate about is looking at how virtual reality and artificial intelligence can be combined into the experience as well, both in the technology that we use in the studios, but also the delegates who are experiencing it off-site and also on-site. And in 2022, what we're going to see is how the integration of the on-site experience, and for delegates on-site and for delegates off-site, how that is seamlessly integrated. And there will be learnings, because it won't be straightforward, but I guess mapping that journey and planning it, and then going through the test cycle will then allow us to execute that perfect hybrid experience for our attendees.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's really important that you picked up on that. We've kind of always had that technology and possibilities there, but it's interesting that the pandemic has just kind of motivated us and opened our eyes to how much we can do with it and how we can change the attendee experience. So 2022 is going to look very bright, it seems. And then lastly, what changes would you like to see in the industry that would affect young people in particular? Because I know there's a lot of topics that's high on the industry's agenda, like diversity and inclusion, sustainability, but what in particular would you like to see change, as we're kind of always changing at the moment and progressing to be better?
I think recognition, inclusion and for young people, especially not the feeling of not being left um, out of the industry, or even out of an event that they could be part of. And I guess the way to address these areas, it's a two-way commitment, I guess. And with recognition, um, it's more top level. It's more referring to our industry being recognized, with and be with the government, and in their eyes as a sector, that allows for more funding into the event sector. It allows for a clear pathway, rather than being split across multiple sectors, and that then in turn will benefit our young people entering the industry. That's one of the areas. I guess the second area of inclusion and also widening participation. It's a term that's not really been mentioned in the events industry as much, but widening participation and attracting people from all backgrounds, and those that may not be aware of how diverse the events industry is and the skill set that's required is so important. Because myself, I'm from an accounting and finance background. I did my master's and undergrad in that, but the transferable skills, making young people aware of that is so important, because from projects to reporting, marketing, sponsorship, and then delivering the event, it's a whole skill set that comes into it. Alongside that, for a young person, is 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 the curiosity, um, of a young person. If you're myself, if I was 17, 18, I was attending a concert, for example, I would stay back. I would wait to see what's happening at the front of house technical desk. How are they de-rigging? How are they packing down? And that curiosity will help me as a young person to be able to go and say, all right, they're doing that. Okay, they're working at this hour, and this is how they're delivering this part of the event. It's increasing my understanding, and then that alongside, when I go for my next, when I talk to my next colleague or next potential job interview, I'm able to go back to that experience and relate that into my answers. And I guess that's really important, because when you're starting off as a young person, opportunities could seem like they're not there, and they could seem like they're not as accessible. But like they say, that if an opportunity is not there, then you build the door. But from the perspective of looking at it at even as a visitor, you attend an event, that's an opportunity in itself to be able to use that experience in your next interview, to be able to, for senior level members of the events industry, to be able to lobby with the government for the industry to be recognized as a sector of its own, is an opportunity then that will pass on to young people, from the perspective of being able to allow for funding schemes to come into play. And those funding schemes have started, such as the Kickstart scheme. But the issue is that the limited accessibility, and also how they're implemented as well. So I guess, overall, if I was to look at the key changes that I would want to see in the industry for young people, and that would affect young people, would be, one, at a top level, to increase the recognition of the event sector with the governmental organizations. Two would be to look at the inclusion, and and explaining to people that the whole industry is more than just delivering an event. There's multiple skill sets available. And I guess the third is, as a young person, never let your curiosity die. You should be your curiosity should be 100% and 120%, because that curiosity then drives you to for your next experience, and your next gives you your next talking point, and that next talking point could land you your first position into a role into the event sector.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the government recognition that you spoke about is definitely really important to drive change for young people. It's actually something that our January-December issue focused on, the government issue, where we kind of talk about that and say how the recognition from the government is what's going to drive all, like, you know, for it to be recognised and for positive change to happen, especially for young people. But thank you for your time, Sunny. It was really lovely chatting to you and seeing you again.
Oh, awesome. No, thanks a lot.
And thanks for everyone watching. Stay tuned for more CN 30 under 30 interviews.